Hello, and welcome to another edition of True Audio Files. So today, not going to talk too much about records. I am going to go on a little bit of a rant about the Grammys. And I'm doing this and with full disclosure that I used to watch the Grammys pretty frequently. Used to watch it every year. That stopped a few years ago. I'm not sure I really know why, besides the fact that my rest of my family could care less about the Grammys, and I was really the only one that cared. But beyond that, I can't say that there was a specific reason why I did. So this year I decided to watch again because there were a couple of artists that were up for some awards that I was interested in seeing if they would win, and they were also performing. So it was Dua Lipa and Olivia Rodrigo. Plus, my son has become a huge Olivia Rodrigo fan, and I've had nothing to do with that, by the way. But even though that was one of my favorite albums of last year, her Guts album, I should say, was my favorite album of last year, one of them. I had nothing to do with him being a big fan. He just started being a big fan. I think some of it has to do with a little bit of a puberty thing. But anyway, so he wanted to watch her performance. I wanted to watch Dua Lipa and Olivia Rodrigo and see if they would win any of the Grammys that they were up for as well. So, and was interested in seeing who would win in some of the other categories, most specifically things like hard rock and alternative and, categories like that. Much to my surprise, they barely mentioned any of that, the hard rock or alternative stuff in passing. Matter of fact, I don't recall if they actually mentioned any of the hard rock or rock categories in the broadcast at all. I think they may have mentioned in passing the alternative, maybe, but if it was mentioned, it was barely mentioned, and that was a pretty big disappointment to me. I mean, that, along with the fact there were no hard rock performances at all. I mean, the closest things we got to rock at all during the Grammy Awards were Billy Joel and Tracy Chapman and Joni Mitchell. And, I would say Joni Mitchell and Tracy Chapman ones slash Luke Bryant were more folk slash pop than they were rock. So, that disappointed me quite a bit. And made me think, and look, I understand a big part of why it is, and, you don't need to let me know why in here, but, I know a lot of it's because rock just isn't as popular as it once was. And, I'm not saying they need to dedicate a third of the show to hard rock or alternative or anything like that. It'd be nice if they dedicated 5-10 minutes to it. And I don't believe there was any jazz that was really discussed much at all either during that, which, again, I understand jazz is not a huge category anymore or genre, even though it's very popular in the record vinyl community, as most of you probably know. So that kind of led me to feel that maybe there'd be a little bit of a resurgence in popularity and a resurgence in people being interested in seeing information on jazz, but didn't really see much there either. So, but, I think that those were the big things that I was kind of upset about, that I really wish they would have had at least a little bit more hard rock alternative stuff in there and maybe a little bit of jazz. Give 5 or 10 minutes to each category, maybe, during the broadcast. That's really all I would have liked to have seen. They gave like Afrobeat time. They gave a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't imagine is more popular in the United States than hard rock or alternative are, or jazz for that matter. I mean, Afrobeats, I'm sure, are super popular across the country, and across the world. I'm sorry, not across the country. And I'm sure that it's popular in the country too. But, I guess maybe I'm just out of the loop, and I'm just a get off my lawn old guy talking here. So I'm just maybe not in the in crowd anymore. But, I was a little disappointed to see that. It's disappointed is probably a strong term. I kind of expected Taylor Swift to win the album of the year, and kind of disappointed Olivia Rodrigo kind of got shut out, because I think her album was definitely, and songs were probably better than a lot of the other ones that she was going up against. But you know, it's all a subjective thing, as Jay-Z had pointed out, which people choose what they feel, and again, it's all opinion based. But that also leads me to my other kind of mini rant about this, because I've been seeing a lot of people complaining about Jay-Z, complaining that Beyonce didn't get Album of the Year, and there's several other artists that never won Album of the Year, and it seems like they're complaining that he complained about only Beyonce being shut out, and I don't think that was his intention. I also think his point is in some of the times when she was up for Album of the Year, she won several other Grammys that year and didn't win for Album of the Year, and I think that was probably, his biggest gripe. At least that's what I took out of that. And she's definitely one of the most, if not the most decorated female artist of all times when it comes to Grammys. So the fact that she hasn't won Album of the Year is kind of one of those things that's a shame. Just like, others that I've read that haven't won, like Elton John, Prince, a lot of others have not won Album of the Year also. So, but that being said, he didn't have a half hour to talk about all the other people that didn't win or anything like that. And I think people are taking his comments out of context / out of proportion, kind of getting blown up for no reason, in my opinion. But anyway, not a huge Jay-Z fan either, so it's not a question of me being a huge Jay-Z fan. I'm a pretty big Beyonce fan, although I haven't been a big fan of the last couple albums or so, but just someone who understands where he's coming from, and I think what his intentions were, and I think a lot of people were misconstruing what he was saying. So anyway, that's kind of my rant. I could go on for more and more, but I really wish, and I hope for the future, that they give more airtime to all the different genres that are going up for Grammys. Again, give hard rock alternatives some time, give jazz some time, give even classical some time. Again, I understand that they're not popular, but you've got 3.5 hours. And if you can't give those genres at least 5 or 10 minutes out of your 3.5 hour live show, then I think that's kind of sad. But, I know a lot of people already are saying, the Grammys suck, and, they're overblown, and, they don't mean a whole lot, but they mean a lot to the artists. And I think it would be one of those things that would make the artists feel even more important if they got those awards on live TV, or at least were acknowledged on live TV and given more time on live TV. Another example was Killer Mike, who won 3 Grammys, none of which were publicized on live TV in terms of given out on live TV. They were given out previous to the live broadcast. Of course, then he got arrested after he got those, but that's another topic. But that one sort of surprises me too, because hip-hop / rap is very popular right now, and I don't understand why those weren't broadcast on live TV and given out on the live broadcast where they were given out previously. That didn't make any sense to me either. So anyway, congratulations to all the winners, though. We have obviously Taylor Swift was a big winner, Miley Cyrus was a pretty big winner, and Killer Mike won, I think, 3 of the 4 he was nominated for. I want to say Dua Lipa may have won one for the Barbie song too, but I can't recall. But anyways, congrats to all the Grammy winners, and I really hope that they spend a little bit more time on all the different genres in the future. And I guess that's my rant, and I'm sticking to it. I'd love to hear your take, though. Do you even care about the Grammys? And I guess I'm going to find out by seeing how many views I get on this. But I would love to hear your take on that and get your opinion. Share it in the comment sections also. But anyway, that's my show for this week. If you're seeing this within the week that I have recorded this, I'm very excited for next week. I'm going to be trying a new thing that I've never done before and experimenting, and we'll see how that goes. I'll leave it on a cliffhanger there and see what you guys think. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribe. If you don't, please do so. I love seeing subscriptions getting added. Hit the like button if you like the video. Make some comments below if you'd like. And if you want to know when my new videos come out, please hit that alert bell. So thanks a lot. Have a great rest of your day, the great rest of your week. Thank you very much. Have a good one.